Hey everyone, welcome into the WATE Alert Desk here on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm digital producer Greg Rocool, joined by Ken Weathers, meteorologist from the Six on Your Side storm team. It's been a very active year so far, I would say, for weather already, with some trace at the higher elevations, snow last week, and some moderate snowfalls in the middle of January. What have you made of the weather so far, and what are we looking at in the days to come, including this weekend?
Well, the big storm system is really going to impact much of the deep south portions of the Ohio Valley and the upper Midwest, and we're just right on the fringes of this one that's going to be moving through, Greg. So go ahead and let's take a look at some of the graphics here that we're going to be talking about. We're going to see more of rain. We're going to be kind of on this warm side is what we call it, and there's the potential for some locally heavy rain. I think that's really going to be our biggest problem or biggest impact that we're going to see from this storm system as it moves through. We'll start to see some of that tonight. More likely, though, the heaviest rainfall is going to be as we go into Thursday night across the area. But there is still the fringe as the storm exits, colder air comes in. Some areas will see some very light ice as we go into Friday morning. Not a snow event. This is more like freezing drizzle or freezing rain, so it's kind of the worst kind that we're going to be looking at. So we're going to be weather aware for both of those events. But let's start out by showing you all the advisories across the country. This is quite impressive. Everything you see there in light pink, that's a winter storm warning. That goes all the way from south central Texas all the way up through Vermont. This is a big storm system right on the fringe areas. Winter storm watches. Again, the only difference is here between a winter storm warning and a winter storm watch. It basically means a warning is it's going to be happening within the next 24 hours. A watch is about 36 to 48 hours away. And that purple you see right there from West Tennessee stretching up into the middle parts of Kentucky, that's an ice storm warning. That's kind of the worst of it that you're going to be seeing out there. So let's take a look at the radar right now. We just have scattered rain showers. Again, we're on the warm side of this system right now. Everything you see in the purple, that is snow. That pink shading that you're seeing between Lubbock and Dallas and Texas, that is the dreaded mix. And notice that stretches up between St. Louis as well in Paducah, Kentucky. So that's heavy snow, by the way, up there towards Chicago, north of St. Louis. Let's get a little bit closer in. We've had a few random sprinkles for today here in the Knoxville area, but some steadier showers on the plateau into Kentucky. And that rain back in the mid-states, what's going to be heading our way a little bit later as we go through the afternoon and evening. So our chances for rain will drastically go up over the evening hours. In fact, 6 timeline shows by 7 o'clock, you can see some of that moderate rainfall. That's going to be with us right through the night. There's 11 o'clock on into early tomorrow morning. So there will be some damp pavement as you head out the door on Thursday. But here's where it gets interesting. The bulk of Thursday is going to be dry. We're going to have some very strong southerly winds that will dry things out, especially from Knoxville eastward. And this forecast model has temperatures warming in the mid to upper 60s. It's going to be a windy and warm day, but that sets the stage for a lot of moisture being pulled in our area. It's coming right up from the Gulf of Mexico. That means locally heavy rainfall like you're seeing there across the plateau about the time the kids will be heading home from school. And we're going to see that for our evening commute. Heavy rainfall for the evening commute. That's why we're going to be weather aware on our Thursday. And that darker red you see there, not only is that heavy rain, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some rumbles of thunder with us, Greg, as it moves through. It's just that kind of environment. It's not going to be severe, but you may be like all of a sudden, wait, did I hear thunder? One of those kind of things. Along with the heavy rainfall, that's what we're going to be seeing. But notice the temperature difference already by 7 o'clock. We're in the low 60s. Jamestown, Oneida, upper 30s. That's the cold front that's moving through. It's the back edge of that where it could be problematic. Maybe not so much up to midnight, but shortly thereafter. Notice the pink start to show up. That's the light freezing rain or freezing drizzle. Notice they're at or below the freezing mark along those areas. Up into Kentucky, we're still in the upper 30s and low 40s here. And I think we're going to kind of stay there until the moisture exits, as you can see, by late in the day. And so by Friday evening, it's cold everywhere, but most of the moisture is gone. So kind of what we're looking at here, anything in the green, we'll keep an eye on it, but we're pretty confident it's mainly going to be rainfall. The pink, we do expect at least some ice. So it's our plateau counties up through southeast Kentucky and southwest Virginia. And those areas kind of in the blue shading, a little too close to call right now, but I would still say it's possible. So Roane County, portions of Anderson, Union County, Granger County, Hawkins County, you're kind of right on that borderline. You just need to kind of pay attention as we get a little bit later into the week here as it is Wednesday. Here's the big story. From right now through Friday, look at these rainfall estimates. That's amazing for this time of year. This is more like spring or summer. That shows you just how much moisture is being pulled north from the Gulf of Mexico. There are going to be some 3 to 4 inch rainfall estimates across the Southern Valley, Southern Plateau areas, 2 to 3 inches elsewhere, a little less over towards northeast Tennessee, but that's pretty significant across the area. So this is more of an impact for us than the wintry side of that storm system. This could cause some problems. And because of that, a flood watch is basically issued for the entire area, meaning the possibility of flooding will be there, not just later tonight, but more so as we go into Thursday night. I think that's our better chance for the steadier, heavier rainfall. And if we see those 1 to 2 inch, 1 to 3 inch totals in just a couple of hours, you could see some issues with some isolated flooding. I'm going to be widespread, but I would not be surprised if we at least have a few isolated flash flood warnings that'll be issued.
For Friday.
As we go Thursday night, yes, late Thursday into early Friday morning. But again, we're still on that warm side. So again, areas Knoxville to the east, not expecting to see the ice. It's just our counties of the plateau into southeast Kentucky for early Friday morning.
I see. I'm curious. Whenever we talk about snow, we always end up talking a lot about elevation, and I wonder if there's the same more kind of effect for, rain, conditions. Is there an impact in terms of elevation, in terms of how much weather or rain you might receive?
Yes, and this is kind of interesting. On this map right here, you see the rainfall estimates. Notice how there's a little less, like Gatlinburg, Newport, Greenville. What we're going to see is very strong winds coming out of the south. So it's causing the air to rise on the North Carolina side of the mountains, which is why you see that sliver of very heavy rainfall right over the highest peaks. But then what happens, of course, Newton's law, what goes up comes down. So on the other side of the mountains, or on our side, we get what's called downsloping, or it dries out the air. So that's why you're going to see less rainfall, Gatlinburg, Newport, Greenville, because of these southerly winds. Think of it this way as well. If you've ever had a bicycle pump, right? You're pumping it up. You're forcing air from a cylinder into a small tube that increases air in your tire. After you've done it several times, compressional warming is what this is called. You're compressing that air and forcing it into a smaller area. It gets warmer. It gets drier as well. So if you ever feel that tube, it's very warm because you forced air particles into a smaller section. Same thing happens here. What happens? The winds come up and over the mountains. You're forcing them down. You're warming them. You're drying them. So it's basically evaporating a lot of the moisture. Doesn't mean you're not going to see rain. You're just not going to see the 3 to 4 inch totals there, portions of Sevier, Cocke, and Greene County, as you would over into the Southern Valley and Southern Plateau, because when the winds are coming up out of Georgia, they're not downsloping. They're not hitting any type of a mountain range, as you are right there in the Smokies, the way it's oriented in that northeast to southwest fashion.
I see. I think you might have answered already just now a question of one of our Facebook viewers saying, asking about the what impacts the foothills might have. I feel like that phenomenon kind of hits right there.
That's exactly right. So I think you will see less rainfall amounts, places like Gatlinburg, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, all the way up through Newport, all of Cocke County, compared to even what we'll see here in Knoxville. We'll see higher totals here. You may even see just slightly less some of your areas into Blount County, the foothills locations as well, places like Townsend as you go through there, but better opportunity for the less rain, if that makes sense, further north and east, Sevier, Greene, and Cocke counties.
That was asked by Anita Brown.
Thanks, Anita.
And she said her kids are in Kentucky and they've been slammed this year.
Yes, Kentucky, and in fact, they're going to get hit again, unfortunately, with this system. Probably more of a freezing rain event than snow. They're kind of, at least initially, going to be on that side where they see more of that ice. Places further north, when you go up into Ohio, they're going to see more in the way of snow. So they're in that battleground where I'm okay with us seeing mainly rain. It's just we have to watch for our few counties that we have on the plateau up towards Kentucky that could see some of that patchy ice.
And Anita says thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Anita.
I see another person, let's see, Wendy Burleson, asking about Knoxville. Looking at that rainfall total map, it seems that Knoxville is kind of right on the cusp of some of that 2 to 3 inch rain, and then where this Arctic or snow potential might move in.
Well, keep in mind as well, this is what we call a forecast model. It's guidance, not gospel, as my professors would always say, but it's done very well and been very consistent over the past several runs, meaning we have high confidence that the entire area is going to be seeing some 1 to 3 inch totals with isolated 4-inch totals possible. But I would say definitely best chance of the heavier rainfall, think of it this way, west of the I-75 corridor.
Right.
Think of it that way.
There's a viewer in northwest Georgia named Jennifer Taylor asking about any rain, or will it just be any snow or just rain for them in northwest?
Northwest Georgia is on the warm side as well, so you are just expecting rain with this system, and some of that could be locally heavy as well, especially depending on if you're at elevation there in northwest Georgia. But no snow or ice with it there.
And as we see on this map as well, this timeline is through Friday. Are we expecting any impacts over the weekend, or is this system now moving out during that time?
That's pretty much it. I'll give you a sneak peek of the 7-day forecast here. You don't even have to wait. I'm going to give it to you now since you asked. What we will see through the day Friday as well is we're going to see temperatures actually dropping. Our official high temperature for Friday is probably going to be about 12:01 Friday morning. Most likely in the mid 50s, somewhere like that. That 42 is going to be what it is when you walk out the door in the morning. And they'll continue to fall into the upper 30s as we go through the afternoon, but it will be drier. Now, the weekend looks good right now. Sunny and cooler Saturday, clouds thinning out Sunday. There was another system we were watching. Didn't have a lot of confidence it was going to be over us. We've, in fact, dropped our opportunity for it. It's going to be too far south and east. It's mainly a Carolinas system that's going to be moving through for Saturday night into Sunday. And we're looking forward to those 50s next week. So even though we're 63 tomorrow, we have to be dealing with those scattered showers.
All right.
Any other questions?
A couple people joining a little bit late, catching in.
Okay.
I'm trying to catch them up.
Let's see. I see Nancy Inman maybe curious about the potential impacts for Blount County.
Okay, we'll go back to this map again about where we're expecting to see rainfall. The green, again, we're keeping an eye on the potential for some freezing rain, but we're not real confident that that's going to happen. We think that's all going to be rainfall the way it is right now. The pink, which does not include Blount County, that's going to be the potential for seeing some ice. I think it'll be light, but it doesn't take much to cause traffic issues. Again, you're going to wake up and look outside, and it's going to be like, oh, it looks like rain, but as soon as you take one step on your front stoop, you're going to slip. It's one of those kind of events. It's impossible to drive on. And then the area shaded there in blue from Roane County all the way up through Granger County, still kind of on that borderline, depending just how far the cool air gets before the moisture exits. But we're fairly confident in the area shaded in pink there'll at least be some freezing rain there. But Blount County, this is all going to be rain event for you, and some of that could be locally heavy. You're kind of in that 2 to 3 inch potential from Wednesday, like now, through Friday, probably midday, the way it is. So this is all just at one time. It's over about a 36 to 40 hour period that's coming up.
And for those northern counties that do have the potential for some potential freezing, that's happening overnight Thursday into Friday morning.
Into Friday. That is not tonight. So tonight, let me go back. That's a great question, especially for the people that just joined. We'll go back and show you the timing of what we're looking at. So we've had some spotty rain today. As we said, most of it would be on the plateau into Kentucky. That's been the case. But notice by 7 o'clock, we're seeing some of those showers work their way into the area. And I think most of us will be seeing rainfall as we go through tonight. That's 11 o'clock, and I'll take it on into early tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So our rain is starting to wrap up by the time the morning commute gets out, but it's still going to be damp. We could be picking up some 1/4 inch to maybe 1/2 inch totals of rainfall just overnight tonight. So first thing tomorrow morning, just grab the rain gear as you head out the door. As I showed you, first half of the day is going to be dry, windy, and warm. Greg, here's a great example of that downslope I was talking about. Do you see where it's not showing much in the way of cloud cover right up against the foothills into the Smokies, and how warm it is, showing Newport at 68? That's an example of that downsloping, or what we call that compressional warming, as you're forcing that air from the North Carolina side down on the Tennessee side, and it's drying things out. So Gatlinburg, Newport, most of your day tomorrow looks pretty good. You're going to be like, what are you talking about rain? It's sunny. But plateau counties by 4 o'clock, that's heavy rainfall. So eventually what will happen is the front gets close enough to us, you're going to lose that downsloping component, or it will lessen, and everybody will see the rainfall. And I do think that'll happen, unfortunately, towards the evening commute tomorrow. And as we mentioned earlier, that brighter red is the heavier rainfall, but I wouldn't be surprised if you hear some rumbles of thunder with this. Not severe, but maybe a rumble or two of thunder as this comes through the area. And that rain potential will last right up through probably early morning Friday. I stopped it here at midnight because our high temperature for the day could be somewhere around midnight for Friday. This is showing temperatures in the upper 40s here, near 60 in Gatlinburg, and already at freezing in Jamestown. So you can see that cold air's coming. It's just, will the front be here before midnight or not? But regardless, I do expect it to be much colder by the time we get to early Friday morning. We're at 39 degrees, and look at the upper 20s. That light pink is the mix. And if you see, that kind of lines up right with where that graphic was that we had. Our plateau counties up through southwest Virginia for the potential of seeing ice. But remember how I mentioned that Roane County, Anderson County, Union County, you're a little too close to say you're not going to see anything or you are going to see something. Again, today's Wednesday. We'll have a lot better idea tomorrow. But I would say just be prepared. I think the greater opportunity, again, will be in those areas shaded in pink.
I'm seeing a couple comments just asking about Maynardville. I think it was falling into kind of that too close to call range that you've been discussing. Where
Exactly.
You may have to be prepared just in case.
It could be really one of these in Union County where if you're north of the lake, when you start to get up in elevation, you have a better chance of at least seeing some light freezing rain or drizzle. Whereas Maynardville down to Luttrell, maybe right on the border with Knox County, Plainview area, you're not going to be seeing that opportunity. It's going to be that close. But those areas I would not expect to see as much as what I think will occur back across like Fentress, Scott counties, McCreary County, and Kentucky because they get colder quicker as that moisture's still there.
One last question.
Sure.
Everybody's asking, are we done with snow?
Oh, no. Gosh, it's February 2nd. You guys know better than that. We've had snow.
Wanna know?
We've had a big snow in April. What was that? I think it was 87 maybe, April of 87. All the dogwoods were out, and we had like an 8-inch snowfall that day. So we're not done yet. And plus, of course, March of 93, we had the big snowstorm.
Famously.
So, no, I will not say we are done yet. In fact, we were kind of looking earlier at some of the longer range stuff, and it does still look seasonal or slightly cooler than average as we go through much of February, but then kind of a sharp turnaround as we head into March. And that's kind of what we had in our winter weather special, that an early severe weather season is possible as we go late February into March. So as soon as we get done with this, we'll have to start focusing on that, unfortunately.
So you're saying Puxatawney Phil's Groundhog Day prediction was right once again? Of 6 more weeks of winter?
Well, it's going to be regardless, right?
Of course.
Because until we get to March, we have 6 more weeks. But and how could he not see a shadow with everybody taking pictures, right? No, but his accuracy, I think they did it. I saw it was like a 23% over the last 100 years. So it's for fun. Enjoy it. You know, the poor little guy gets to go back to sleep now.
The more you know.
There you go.
Alrighty, sounds
The destination for, weather coverage in this area, still just check in with the WATE 6 on Your Side store team. We've got the forecast blog on our site that we're updating all the time. Keep an eye out for Ken's socials. He's posting a lot of the graphics that you'll see here
Yes.
as those change, as well as our WATE weather Twitter account. Also, updating the situation as it arises. But this is one we'll be following in the days to come. Thanks
Yep.
a lot, Ken.
Have a great day, everybody.